name is Chip, and I'm from Plano, Texas. Been a long time runner and have spent a lot of time on my feet, running around the world. And it's funny. Up until probably about 3.5 years ago, never had any issues. About 1.5 years ago, the pain in my left foot became just almost unbearable to run, especially of any distances. I'd have to run and stop, take my shoe off, massage my foot, put the shoe back on, take off running again. Foot would start to hurt again, take the shoe off, massage my foot, and take off running again. And it was getting to really impair my enjoyment of the sport. So I knew I needed to do something. At the point that I had to stop each run and take my shoe off and rub it, it was probably 8, 9, or 10.
Wow.
It hurt that much. There was really no option to continue with the pain as it was standing. I had to stop and do what a lot of other Morton's Neuroma patients have to do. They'd take the shoe off, rub the foot, get the circulation, the feeling going back into it, release some of that pressure. Then I could start running again. And on the longer races, when you're running 3 miles, it was not so much of an issue. When you're running 13 or 26 or 30 kilometers or 50 kilometers, it would get to be a huge problem. It would hurt so much that it got to be a chore to go running, because I knew I would have to stop after 3 to 4 miles, stop, rub my foot again. Running for me is something that I have a great passion for, that I enjoy that time out alone on the streets. And it took that sanctuary away from me. I'm a consultant. I travel all over the United States, working predominantly with hospitals. And one of my clients in in downtown Boston is very close to a world famous running store in Boston, and right at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Mm-hmm. I know the owner there, or the manager there, fairly well. Had also actually had a Morton's Neuroma, and someone had stopped into Marathon Sports and said, "Hey, here's some brochures. If people come in with Morton's Neuroma problems, give them one of our brochures." And it was really a flyer that was up on the wall at Marathon Sports in downtown Boston that led me to the Center for Morton's Neuroma. So it was interesting. It was actually done over 2 days. The first day, I was asked to actually go and run and actually make my foot hurt, which was an interesting experience to actually try to make the pain happen. Ended up going and running for about 4.5 miles. And by the time I got back, it was good and irritated. And then went in for a preliminary assessment. They did some ultrasounds and really targeted where the pain was and where on the nerve they felt would be where they would end up doing a procedure to give me the greatest relief. And regretfully, I know that there's, usually they want you to not fly the day of a procedure, but I had to fly back to Dallas. So I was one of the first patients in the morning. They did a cryoablation, which involved putting small pearls of liquid nitrogen around the nerve. A great deal of relief almost immediately. Was able to put a loose fitting shoe on over it, and with the ice packs to keep the swelling down, was able to get on my plane and fly back to Dallas really by lunchtime the day of the procedure. For the next couple days, my foot was very sore, very tender. Used ice packs a lot to keep the swelling down and to make the pain more comfortable. From there, was back in dress shoes, back at work the following Tuesday, and with no lingering side effects or any other challenges. So it was great. that the procedure was quick. It was relatively painless, in comparison to the Morton's Neuroma, and was really back on my feet, within, 2 days of the procedure and with no significant pain challenges. There were always call-ins during, after the procedure, and there's always been checkpoints or questions that have happened afterwards as well, that I've always felt I could pick up the phone and call if I had any questions or issues.
Good.
And the fact that I can go back at any time if anything flares up again, and have an additional treatment. That's phenomenal. One, I would tell people that it doesn't have to hurt. It's one of those where I had resigned myself that I was just going to have to suck it up and live with the pain. And you really don't have to. There are options and strategies and, great physicians who can help make this go away, and take advantage of it. Don't make the phone call and take the chance and see if this is something that would work for you. There wasn't a great deal of pain during the procedure. No, immediately afterwards, after the medication wears off, after the pain meds, that ice pack was worth its weight in gold. I would have paid $100 for another ice pack.
Yeah, right.
But the procedure itself was not painful and was really quick. I mean, I was in and out of the office in under an hour and 30 minutes.
Great.
So it wasn't a time investment or painful experience either way. I would say two things. One, this is something that can have a huge impact versus continually having to go back to the doctor to get shots in the foot. That is not the way to continue to try to manage your Morton's neuroma. It's ineffective in the long run and not good for your health. This is a much better process because it's one time and it's done and it's taken care of. That makes a huge difference. The second thing is, as you're recovering, as you're working on, after the procedure, and you're really, getting used to not having the pain anymore, take your time and ease into it. Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily do what I did and run an ultra marathon at the ninth week after the procedure, but take your time and let it heal properly, and you'll have an even better outcome.